Zero.
Dear Piero,
Yeah.
you are System 3.
Indeed.
Could you tell me the history of System 3? When did you release your first System 3 track?
So, System 3 was actually born in 1994. We've had a lot of attempts in releasing stuff at that time, but of course it wasn't easy for somebody who was new. So me and my friend, Mr. Daniele Baraldo, who was the guy whom we started this project with, started kind of trying to find somebody that was going to listen to the tracks in a serious way, because at the time most record companies were just kind of listening quick and throwing your CD away and stuff like that. So finally, thanks to a friend of ours, Mr. Joe Inferno, we've been introduced to D-Boy Records. And so luckily, Mr. Luca, Digital Boy, liked the material very, very much, and so decided to release the first record that was My Place in '96.
Okay. And you've now performed at Ground Zero. You will be performing for the third time.
Yes.
What can you tell us about the festival? What does Ground Zero mean to you?
Well, Ground Zero was, to me, is something that is very, very important, because it's the first place where I've been playing again since I stopped, because I've been basically more or less out of the business for a few years. And then Dano called me up once and proposed this in 2008. And so Ground Zero basically for me also is, it means like restarting this career that was on hold for a few years. Moreover, it's something that to me is very dear, because the festival is huge. And I knew how it was, but until I got there in 2008, I didn't realize how big everything is and how spectacular the location is particularly. And also what I really like about this is that I'm not sure really 100%, but I think it's probably the only festival that takes place in nighttime in Holland, and also because there are so many different styles of music. So maybe you can choose maybe to stay in the hardcore area and then go into the old school and then chill out a bit, maybe in something in a place where the music is easier. So you can really spend a whole night enjoying music without problems.
Do you have festivals like Ground Zero in Italy?
Well, sort of. We have music events like this, but I don't think there's anything comparable to Ground Zero, really.
How is the scene in Italy?
You're asking me a tough question here. The scene in Italy is quite good at the moment, even though it's hard to how can I say? It's hard to organize events, particularly because of problems we have, for example, with the law management. Because some stuff is still considered illegal, or there are problems with the authorizations, for example, for locations and stuff like that.
Okay. What will you bring to Ground Zero this year? Do you have anything special planned?
Well, yes, I think this year System 3 will be performing as usual in the old school area, but I'm going to do something a bit harder than the previous years, because I sense in a certain way that the Dutch public particularly prefers music slightly on the harder side. This is at least my perception. Also, I'm going to be bringing some unreleased music, some old but never heard before music. I played a little bit of the same kind of style last year, and it was very welcomed, so I'm going to do this again.
Are there any releases for System 3 planned for this year?
Yes, indeed. We are working, actually. I've got a copy here, if you give me a second. Okay, this is a record that is going to be released soon. It's Neurotoxic 42 Audiogenic label, and it's the Seeker Squad versus System 3. And it's going to be quite interesting because the style is great, and of course you know very well the Seeker Squad, and they're really good at making music and making people dance. So I'm hoping this is going to be a smashing release. And also, we just finished a project with Dano himself, because we are going to release a remix of a very well-known track on Mokum Records. And so it's going to be another very interesting and important step in the process of bringing System 3 back to the scene.
Which track?
I can't really say yet. Sorry about that.
Check www.groundzerofestival.nl